lonely because, you know, if you have your family, who needs friends? Philosophy meant that we didn't have much to do with other people.
Yeah.
And so I had a lot of free time to use my imagination to come up with, you know.
So that's why you think maybe you remember a lot of this, because this is, you spent your time thinking about these different things.
Yeah, well, that's part of it.
And,
But
yeah.
also why I try to put a humorous spin on it.
Right,
you know, because I was kind of a positive person by nature, I think.
Yeah.
So I was told when I got to college, the guy said, "Boy, are you positive and upbeat?" You know, they were kind of surprised. It didn't require that I got, you know.
Do you think maybe the fact that you, because,
you know?
speaking of, I mean, you know, do you think that has something to do with the fact that, you know, not that your childhood was, you know, not that you were Oliver Twist, but that, you know, you had to work, so, you know, you didn't grow up as, you know, life is easy.
Right.
And maybe then when you got to college, you're like, wow, this is pretty nice.
Well, I mean,
you know, going to college is right, which gets to another part of when, you know, Regis, where you also had to work really hard.
Yeah. So let's see here. Grease Monkey. Oh, I wrote down. I call it "It Makes a Village." You know, it takes a village.
Yeah.
We had so many different characters that made up the bakery. Tuesdays, the Little Sisters of the Poor showed up to get the stuff that was left over from the weekend, and I guess they brought it to feed people.
Yeah.
Then there was somebody, and Bob reminded me of this the other day. He says, "What about the Dairy Queen?" It was some,
it's not the fast food joint.
No, it was some lady who ran a pig farm somewhere. She was kind of a heavy-set lady that came. She must have come on Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah.
Whatever they didn't give to the Little Sisters of the Poor, which was no longer edible by humans, was now fit for the pigs.
I see.
So
That's
the Dairy Queen would come on. I'm just guessing. It was Wednesday or Thursday.
Right.
You know, she would come and scoop up the stuff for the pigs.
Yeah.
That was the Dairy Queen. And then I told you about the Grease Monkey. And then there was a old man that used to work in the baker shop there, clean up. And Walt does a fantastic shuffle, the Mr. Pleva shuffle.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Basically, it's one foot next to the other and just keep going. And he said the funniest thing was, although this sounds kind of cruel, he must have a cruel streak, watching Mr. Pleva.
Oh, well, you find it funny too.
20 garbage cans outside at the bakery.
Yeah.
And the poor old Mr. Pleva would he'd say, watching him take out one can, one at a time, 20 different garbage cans. He says, can you imagine how long that was? He said, I must have been really bored, but I remember watching him do it. So anyway, that was Mr. Pleva, and there was Bob Feiner, who Walt said was Mr. Pleva's trainee. Walt said he's a young guy. He gave up college and a career to be trained to back up Mr. Pleva. Well, I don't know whatever happened to him, but anyway, we had a bunch of bakers, and I can remember the names. And some of these guys were characters. John Archotsky was the poor guy that died. And there was also Adam was one of the more long-time bakers. He wasn't real friendly, but he was a consistent guy. And he was there day after day, year after year. And Joe Torgic was the cake baker. Did beautiful work, including my parents' wedding cake, I think. If you see in the wedding video from 1947.
Yeah.
But I say Joe Banana Torgic, because he would come by around 11 o'clock in the morning and walk by the room where we stayed behind the store, and Grandma would be there. Do you have any bananas today? He made the banana cream pie out of the bananas. If she said no, then he wouldn't make banana cream pie. But if she had them, he'd go make banana cream pie. But he called them bananas. Anyway, so I think he was born elsewhere. And then there was Al Sadler, who he wasn't really a baker. He was more of a baker's helper. But he also came up to the country all the time, like Frank. And the word on him was that he was a Native American Indian, was unbelievably strong and agile.
Right.
He used to climb trees, like, you know, he'd just scale a tree, like, shimmy up a tree like he was a monkey, you know. He was amazing, yeah. Oh, also, he used to have this expression. I just thought of this the other day. Uncle Frank and he'd be talking, all of a sudden you'd hear, "What say?" No, all day long. What say?
Was that part of his Native
I
American?
don't know. That, in my
routine?
mind, I'm thinking, well, maybe that's how they talk. Maybe that's how the American Indian speaks. What say? All day long. What say? He was a man of few words. He didn't want to throw in the extra pronouns and whatever. That's all he would. And finally, to me, this is the best baker name that you can imagine. And he was there when I was really young. I don't remember him until his name was Moldy.
Moldy? That's not a good baker's name.
I know.
Yeah.
But it's so appropriate for a baker, right?
Yeah.
Not.
Yeah.
His last name was Moldock, I think.
Oh, I see.
So his nickname was Moldy. But you're thinking, Moldy the baker? Wait a minute. That doesn't sound right.
No, that doesn't sound too appetizing. Yeah.
Who's your cookie baker? Moldy. So he was there, like before Adam, I think it was Moldy.
Okay.
But anyway.
Didn't you have more cast of characters? I was gonna say.
Well, we had a bunch of customers that were iconic customers.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's hear about that. That's
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Where did I write those down? Well, I know there was Mr. Salty. He would come in, and all he would order would be like a salt. They had what they call the horns. These hard rolls.
Yeah.
They were like hard rolls, but they were like in horn shape, and they'd have caraway seeds or sesame seeds, or I think it was caraway. That would be the salt horn. And he'd come in and order one salt horn, and I think that's all he ordered. Then there was another guy named Mr. Drecky, which apparently Drecky in certain languages means...
Yeah, shit.
Yeah. So you said it. So anyway, Mr. Drecky would show up. He'd be kind of friendly and personable. And then there was the bird, another guy. I think he had a big nose and all that. I already told you about how not to Philly jelly donut.
Right.
Walt would win the...
Well, speaking of customers, I remember, I think you've told me, at a young age, because you were tall and bigger, they thought you were older than you were, so you'd get asked, what are you going to do when you grow up?
Right.
And what was your response?
Yeah, well, you're right, and that put pressure on me, I think, earlier than I would have otherwise to decide, well, gee, what am I going to do? So by the age of 16, I decided I wanted to be a lawyer.
How did you come to that conclusion?
I remember at Regis, I read a book on John Adams, and I really admired him. I think that was what it was, and I said, wow, he was a lawyer. And
quite a guy.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah. And even though it wasn't the family profession, and didn't your grandmother say,
Oh, yeah, well, Grandma Cohout, when I told her I was going to go to law school, she goes, yeah. Liars. That's what she said.
Yeah.
She wasn't real pleased, and she liked me a lot, but she didn't like that choice at all. Believe me. So, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
And then let's see.